there, I'm Gail Miller. I'm the department chair for the Legal Studies program here at College of Lake County. I'd like to share some information about paralegal career paths and other career paths available to you if you complete our Legal Studies program at CLC. The first question I'd like to answer for you is, what is a paralegal? A paralegal is a legal professional. They're qualified by virtue of their education, training, or work experience, and they perform substantive legal work under the supervision of an attorney. They help attorneys in delivering the services to the clients that the attorney is hired by. Paralegals work directly with attorneys to deliver legal services. You may have also heard the words legal assistant. A legal assistant is the same career as paralegal. Those words are used and those job titles are used interchangeably. So a legal assistant is a paralegal. I'd like to answer a few more questions about the Legal Studies program and some details about the careers and how we get there. What do paralegals do? Where do paralegals work? What is the paralegal education path? What certifications are available? What paralegals earn? What are the options for going on to law school or becoming an attorney? And how CLC's Legal Studies program can help you get there. Well, as I mentioned, they work directly under the supervision of an attorney, and they help the attorney deliver the legal services to the client. So paralegals, depending on where they work, they may be responsible for conducting client interviews, they may be doing investigations, but regardless of what setting a paralegal works in, they're usually in charge of organizing and maintaining documents, client files, indexing and summarizing larger transcripts and depositions. They also help prepare clients for court hearings, and they keep track of pending laws. They often conduct legal research, including statutes and administrative rules, and look up case law. In most settings, paralegals are also in charge of maintaining calendars and schedules and tracking deadlines and due dates. So a paralegal is heavily relied upon to be the person who's in charge of organizing things in the law office. To avoid the unauthorized practice of law, paralegals must work under the supervision of an attorney. Paralegals cannot be directly hired by a client. The client hires the lawyer, and then the lawyer hires the paralegal to assist them. Where do paralegals work? Well, in Lake County, the largest employer for paralegals is the corporate and business sector. So paralegals work for corporate legal departments. And as I mentioned, in Lake County, it tends to be our big pharmaceutical companies like Abbott and Baxter and AbbVie and Hospira and Takeda, and also the insurance companies. We have Allstate and we have State Farm and a few others. And banks employ paralegals, as well as hospitals and healthcare organizations. And some of the job titles you will see for paralegal. Again, paralegal is one of those careers where you may be working as a paralegal, but your job title may be something else. And so common job titles and departments where you will find paralegals working are risk management, project assistant, legal project assistant, administrative assistant in a legal department, case management, pensions or benefit coordinator, contract reviewer, contract analyst, and contract manager. The contract reviewer and contract analyst tend to be the entry-level jobs for paralegals in the corporate and business sector. Where else do paralegals work? Where paralegals also work in the public sector. They work for government offices, they work for public defender and prosecutor offices, representing in public defender offices. Those offices represent people charged with crimes for which they could be jailed. Prosecution offices often employ paralegals, as well as not-for-profit agencies and legal services programs, because paralegals tend to cost less than lawyers. So it's very cost effective to use paralegal services and have many paralegals working under one attorney instead of hiring many attorneys. Paralegals also work in state and federal government agencies like the Social Security Administration, the VA. They work in immigration law as well. And paralegals are often employed in our judicial and court systems doing various administrative tasks. Again, job titles don't always have the word paralegal in them. So some job titles you'll see in prosecutor offices may be the domestic violence advocate, a child support caseworker, victim witness coordinators tend to be paralegals. And job titles for paralegals working in the court system doing court administrative work are legal administration, office manager, office administrator, litigation support manager, a paralegal coordinator, a court administrator, court interpreter, and county clerks. Court clerks often have paralegal educational backgrounds and qualifications. Most commonly, paralegals work in private law firms. Private law firms can be very small with maybe just one lawyer and a paralegal, or they can be huge with hundreds of lawyers and hundreds of paralegals and managers of paralegals and supervisors of paralegals. Job titles for paralegals in law firms can include paralegal, senior paralegal, junior paralegal, a legal assistant, senior legal assistant, litigation assistant, and law office managers. In small firms, paralegals tend to have multiple roles. So a paralegal working in a very small firm may be doing both paralegal work and secretarial work and office management work, whereas a paralegal working in a larger firm is going to have a much more well-defined job, and they may have their own administrative staff that assists them in doing their work. And I give you this picture of a local law firm in Waukegan, and I like to show this picture because what you see here this is everyone who works for the firm, and 5 of the people in this picture are paralegals, and 5 are lawyers. And so if you try to guess or try to figure out who are the lawyers and who are the paralegals, what you might come to realize is that the stereotype or the idea that paralegals are mostly women is not true. In reality, there are many men employed as paralegals across the country. To avoid the unauthorized practice of law, paralegals must work under the supervision of an attorney, because paralegals are not licensed to practice law. I also wanted to mention a few things and let you know about the ABA. The American Bar Association is the national organization for the legal profession. And they accredit law schools across the country, and they approve paralegal programs. When the ABA approves a paralegal program, it is saying that that program meets their high standards. And that program has shown that they successfully graduate their students for careers as paralegals. And the curriculum is of a very high standard, and it includes instruction in professional ethics, legal research and writing, technology, and legal and specialty areas of law practice, and that we emphasize practical skills that someone needs to know to perform the job upon graduation. There are over 1,300 paralegal education programs nationwide, and only about 225 of them are ABA approved. Yes, CLC is an ABA approved paralegal program. We work very hard to maintain that credential, and even though we are a public community college, we hold the credential as good as and exactly as other universities and local programs that may also have this credential. But it is a kind of special thing. Only 225 programs across the country have this credential. There are also licenses and certifications and regulations that affect the paralegal career. In Illinois, paralegals are not subject to licensure. You don't have to have a license to be a paralegal in Illinois. You don't have to register to be a paralegal in Illinois. But we do have some voluntary professional national certifications for paralegals, and they're offered by our national professional associations, such as the National Federation of Paralegal Associations and the National Association for Legal Assistance. The names of these credentials are CRP, RP, and CP. Core Registered Paralegal, that's an entry-level national credential. Registered Paralegal is for seasoned professionals that have been out in the workforce for a while. And Certified Paralegal, also for a seasoned long-term paralegal. Here at CLC, we prepare our graduating students for the PCC exam, the Paralegal Core Competency Exam. And you will have the opportunity to graduate with a nationally recognized certification, the Core Registered Paralegal Certification. Once you graduate, what kind of employment can you expect? What kind of salary is common? Well, in Illinois and Chicago, we are actually the 4th highest employment for paralegals in the nation. So it's a great place to be a paralegal here in the Chicagoland area. And the U.S. Department of Labor expects continued and sustained growth of the paralegal profession over the next 10 years. In Illinois, our average salary for a paralegal is over $57,000 a year. And the average hourly pay for a paralegal in Illinois is over $27 an hour. Most paralegals and legal assistants are salaried employees and aren't paid by the hour. That's usually part-time. How can you use CLC's legal studies program to ultimately go to law school and become a lawyer? Well, first, to become an attorney in Illinois, one has to have a 4-year degree in any subject and graduate from an ABA accredited law school. So you need a 4-year degree and then you go to law school. Going to law school full-time means that it will take 3 years. There are part-time programs out there where it can take you longer. So you have 4 years of your college degree and then 3 years of law school. And once you graduate law school, you have to pass a character and fitness screening. You have to take a professional responsibility exam and the state bar exam. If you pass through all of that, you can become licensed to practice law in the state of Illinois. You can start your journey here at CLC with an associate in applied science degree in legal studies. Our AAS degree can transfer or articulate with several universities locally, and you can get your 4-year degree that is the foundation for you to move on to law school. And about 15 or 20% of our grads do go on to law school, and several of our grads are currently practicing law right here in Lake County. I'm very proud of that. We have a transfer guide posted on the CLC website that can help you choose the right classes. But we have specific agreements with area schools like Loyola University and Roosevelt University and Dominican University, where you can finish your 2-year degree here at CLC and transfer to one of those schools, and you enter as a junior. So you complete your 4-year degree with them and then go on to law school. From you already have a 4-year degree and you're looking at pursuing our certificate in legal studies, it's also a good path to law school because you can work as a paralegal while you attend law school, especially if you're working in a firm downtown. Then we have 5 law schools right in downtown Chicago within walking distance of most of the law firms. So it turns out to be a really good pair to have the paralegal skill and career while you pursue a law school education. And I just mentioned we have an AAS degree and a certificate. So I'm going to give you a little bit of information and background about our Associate in Applied Sciences degree in legal studies. This is for those who do not already have a college degree. We have a 2-year program where you will take 7 general courses to help develop communication and thinking skills. They are courses like English, political science, critical thinking, math. Yes, we do make you take a math class. And then you have 10 required core legal specialty courses that help develop your legal knowledge, your law office professional skills, and we also make sure you get some real life experience in the field before you graduate. You'll also be required to take 4 elective courses. This is where you choose the field of law that most interests you and you can get ready for your career. So examples of the elective courses that we offer are corporate and business law, immigration law, family law, criminal litigation, probate law, administrative agency law, international human rights and justice, which also includes a travel abroad component, and law and society, where we study the US Supreme Court and their cases. We also have a post-degree certificate program. This program is for those who already have a college degree. Our certificate program is only 10 courses. There are 7 required courses, again, to gain the legal knowledge. These are the core courses where we're building your basic legal knowledge, your technology skills, and ensuring that you get some law office experience. And you'll be required to take 3 elective courses, again, as I mentioned, in one of those legal specialty areas that is of interest to you, where you want to build your career. We have a fast track option that can be completed in just 1 year, depending on how many classes you take a semester. And it's possible for you to complete the entire certificate remotely, online, using online courses and having class sessions live via Zoom, meaning you don't have to come to campus for class. You can complete that entire certificate online in this way. So the core courses for both our AAS degree and certificate programs consist of Introduction to Legal Studies, where we introduce you to the legal system, the basic principles of law, ethics, and careers in the legal field, and the role of the paralegals in the legal community. You'll also be required to take a course in legal research and writing, where we're developing your skills in finding the law, reading the law, writing about the law, and a course in civil litigation, where you're going to learn about trial work and the process of a case through the legal system. You'll learn about the rules of evidence and discovery, and you're also going to conduct a mock trial as part of this class. You're also going to have to take a class in law office technology and e-discovery. E-discovery is electronic discovery, which is the process by which we exchange information with opposing sides in a lawsuit. In this class, you're going to learn the common office software programs. You're going to learn about office software specific to law and litigation. And you're going to get some experience with timekeeping and billing software, case management, and all of these vital qualifications to be able to work in a modern law office. You'll also be required to take a class in drafting legal documents. This is a practical skills course where we teach you how to produce legal documents. And then you will finish your program, whether it's AAS or certificate, with your final 2 courses of capstone and seminar. In capstone, we ensure this is the class where you will get your fieldwork experience at a local law office. And in seminar, we prepare you for that national competency exam. You'll create your portfolio, resumes, cover letters, and begin your job search during your last semester. So we don't leave you hanging. We make sure you know how to get a job before you graduate, not after. Why should you choose the Legal Studies program at CLC? First, we're ABA approved, which is a very important credential in the legal field. We offer you course concentrations with our electives where you can specialize in your area of interest. We are low cost. As a public community college, our tuition is only $144 per credit hour. That is 6 times less than the local private universities. You also get practical real-world experience before you graduate with our program. We also have an excellent reputation in the local legal community. Most of our instructors are members of the Lake County Bar Association, and right now, the president of the Lake County Bar Association happens to teach in our program. All of our courses are taught by practicing attorneys, and we have agreements with area universities to transfer and complete your 4-year degree in legal studies for those of you pursuing the AAS degree. We have an 88% pass rate for last semester students on the paralegal core competency exam. This is over 20% higher than the national average. So we're really preparing our students for that national credential. Also, our students and grads are getting jobs. We have a 96% placement rate for our grads from last year. And those include those who graduated during the pandemic when courts and offices were all remote. Everybody got a job, just about everybody, 96%. If you'd like more information, email's the best way to get a hold of me, gmiller@clcillinois.edu. And if you can't reach me, you can email Lori Scott. She's the other full-time faculty member for our legal studies program.